Hey, everybody. Today I have a very, very special guest with me. This is my mom, Theresa Stanley, and she is a doctor of education. So many of you probably already know her, and she's here to offer some advice for those of us who are homeschooling right now and how to get through this time and maybe some tricks on how to navigate it. So, Mom, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I retired from public school teaching after 32 years. I also did a great deal of private tutoring through those years and have experience at elementary, middle, and high school levels.
Gotcha. And because you retired from elementary teaching, and how long
Right.
have you done elementary teaching?
I had taught elementary for about the last 15 years of my careers. First 15 years were the higher level, and then I moved to elementary.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you've done private tutoring for.
I actually did some classes, private tutoring and classes with homeschool students. So that gave me a little bit of an edge when we started this.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Because you're homeschooling Whelan right now. And how is that going?
Well, it's going well. The transition was difficult. These are young kids. He's in the first grade. And transition was touchy because they don't really understand what's going on. But right now, the school system has just been incredible with providing everything that we need, resources for all the kids in the county. And so we have everything at our fingertips, and that's been a big help. He's also become more accustomed to the school day at home.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Yeah, and he's at St. Mary's Elementary School, right?
That's right.
And we're going through this whole thing right now. Lauren's doing an awesome job with our kids, and same thing. We're getting a lot of great resources from the school, but a lot of it still falls on your shoulders and the parents' shoulders to do this kind of stuff. So, what advice do you have to offer parents who have never done this before, or maybe it's been a long time since they've done it?
Well, the first thing that I'd say is that kids love to be in control of their world. We know that, and sometimes that causes us some issues, but in this case, it's a good thing, because if you will allow them to do some organizing, at Whelan's age, it's make a reward chart or let him help me make the list of what we're going to do today. And they get really excited about that at all ages, but mostly in elementary school. And with middle and high school students, they can take that to another level, and they can create presentations for you about their plans and what they've achieved and where they're going to go from there. And you may find that some hidden talents become exposed because they may have a lot of fun doing those sorts of things in taking control of their own education. And I've found that it's a good thing. It's like I said, it takes a little time, but when they have a vested interest in it, it's a big help.
That's awesome. And then what else outside of just the homeschooling with being at home with the kids? Do you have any advice on that?
Well, first of all, I think that in order to alleviate stress, to keep in mind how important this time with family is. I mean, we have to remember that they're going to have the memory of this year for their entire lives. Right? And we want those uppermost memories to be about family and the time that they spent. We want them to remember that it was teamwork and that we were sharing in their learning. And if they can carry that with them, then that's going to be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me if you agree with this, but I think, the parents, well, I know this to be true. We also need to give ourselves a little bit of a break too, because there's a lot that we're going through. There's a lot of stress that a lot of us parents are going through.
Right. It's really important, as you mentioned, I think earlier in your work from home video, it's important to implement that in homeschooling too. There should be blocks of time that are set aside just for school, and we know that can't always be, but just as a plan. And then there need to be blocks of time set aside for you, so that and kids need that space too. So if you have those blocks of time for everybody to kind of just take a breather and regroup, that's really important.
Gotcha. Tell me a little bit about Whelan's reward chart. How does that work?
Well, he created it. He decided that we have one big star, and that star fills up during the day with chalk on the chalkboard. And he patterned it after the accelerated reading program. It has a flower that fills up with their points as they go. So we fill this chart up as we complete parts, the star up as we complete parts of the assignments. We didn't have to buy anything. We didn't have to buy a chart, and we do it on the chalkboard. And then when he completes the star for that day, we add it to the weekly calendar. On Friday, if he has 5 stars, then he gets rewarded. And so he loves it. Yeah. He loves filling up the star. When he finishes an assignment, he says, can I color in some more of the star now? So it's worked out really well.
That's awesome.
It was his idea.
Was it?
Yeah, it was his idea. So I said, I think you should be rewarded for your hard work. And he said, what can we do?
That's awesome. Well, that's great. Is there anything else? What last tip that you want to offer parents?
Well, I would like to say that it's really important for parents to communicate with the schools. Like you said, they give us resources. We are actually boots on the ground doing this at home. But schools are waiting to hear from you. So your teachers probably have office hours that they've implemented so that there are certain times of the day when you can contact them. But please do that, because everything's available to you, and that's going to be the biggest help.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for offering some advice. I really appreciate it.
And keep in mind to relax. This is we're going to all get through this, and your kids are going to remember the time when mom and dad were part of school. So
right. All right. Thanks, Mom. It's good talking to you. Love you.
Good to see you. Love you. Bye.